Welcome back by a new video on my channel. Today's topic is gonna be LeafyIsHere. I think all of you are familiar with this guy. He was a massive YouTuber back in 2015, 2016. His video type was commentary videos where he was roasting people, and I thought it was pretty funny back in the day. This was like the Etsy phase of YouTube where you literally could say anything without getting in any trouble. YouTube wouldn't spank you if you say naughty words, obviously. Nowadays that is much different, but with the videos he made back in the day, he made a lot of money. I think he even said that he made a couple million a year, which is obviously an insane amount of money. He doesn't need to work the rest of his life, and even after that he invested a lot of money in crypto, if I'm correct, and he made even more money, so he's settled for life. He doesn't need to work a day in his life, and there occurs the problem, because if you don't need to work, you don't need to wake up at a certain time. You can do with your life what you want to do with, and his thing he's doing right now, what it seems, is using drugs, playing video games, and that is like his entire life right now. This is obviously gonna be an issue, because that's not a life that's fulfilling for the long term. Maybe if you do it for like a couple months, then it's fun, and a lot of people are going to say, if I have money and I'm rich, I'm gonna enjoy my life. But I think a lot of people are going to underestimate the fact that a lot of times work is legit saving people, because they have like a structure and they're working towards something. But if you just have money and you get like famous at a young age, what happened with LeafyIsHere, you see with a lot of people that have like the same thing going on, like young famous actors that become like rich at a young age. I'm not comparing LeafyIsHere to a person like that, but I'm just saying they started using drugs, they started doing wild stuff because they're bored. What do you need to do when you don't need to work? What are you gonna do the entire day? It's a pretty important question, because else you're going to get bored and you don't know what to do with your life. It's obviously can put you in a really bad mental state. And LeafyIsHere had his fame at a young age. He's never going to be as famous as he was when he was like 20 or 21. I don't remember his exact age, but I think he was like in his early 20s, and now he's in his late 20s, and he has all the money and he just doesn't know what to do with it. And that happens a lot with people that get rich, because you don't really have a goal. You need to find something. You need to find like a hobby, or you need to find something you enjoy doing, maybe have a family. He's getting older as well, so I don't think he wants to do the online stuff forever. So if I was him, I would just buy a nice house and have a family. A lot of guys are dying for that type of life, let's be real here. But if you look at Leafy's life, at least what it looks like, he just seems to smoke weed and do all types of hardcore drugs and just plays video games. That is the life he's having right now, which is obviously for most people not going to be a fulfilling life. But I understand the situation, because he has a couple million, so he doesn't need to work. Like, he's not forced to have a job. He already made his fame and money on a really young age. What is he supposed to do, honestly? And he cannot even do the thing that he seems to enjoy, and that is making YouTube videos, because he's banned from YouTube because he was going after Pokemon and it was considered bullying. I thought it was pretty bullshit, but he is now banned for YouTube, so he cannot do YouTube anymore. He has a couple million and he doesn't know what to do with his life. That doesn't seem to be the case with LeafyIsHere, and he seems to be a pretty strong drug user. I'm not going to say anything about that, because I don't know him on a personal level, but a lot of people that do know him say that he is on a lot of drugs and he is not really here anymore, and he is just using drugs and playing video games. If I was him, I would just try to have a social life, to try to find someone. That honestly would be like the best solution. Or maybe he has something. We don't know everything he's doing in his real life, but it just seems like he's playing video games and using drugs. And it is just honestly sad to see one of the original YouTubers living a life like that. He obviously could do much better. He could be a father. He could have like a pretty interesting life. He could find a hobby. Like, he has enough money to do interesting stuff, but instead he is using drugs and he's playing video games, which is obviously pretty tragic. And I don't think he's going to come back to YouTube or to like any social media for a long time, because he doesn't need to go back to YouTube or doing any social media stuff because he already made his money. There is no need for him to work a day in his life anymore, and that's a pretty risky thing, because if you don't need to work, you're going to get lazy. When you're going to get lazy, you're going to get bored, and when you get bored, you start probably using drugs to do crazy stuff. And I feel like he's in that circle that he really doesn't know what to do. He's bored, so he starts using drugs, and because of that his entire life is now screwed. And I think he broke up with his like long-term girlfriend as well, and the recent pictures we saw of LeafyIsHere, they were pretty horrible. He didn't look well, and I'm not being mean, it's honestly just the fact that he didn't look well in those pictures, and he seems to be pretty insecure about the way he's looking, especially when there was this no chin thing back in the day. You know, he got bullied for that when iDubbbz was roasting him, so he does seem to be pretty insecure about certain things. So his entire life seems to just be sad. The people are going to say he's rich, so he needs to be happy. That doesn't mean you're going to be happy, because money doesn't make happy. Let's be real here. There's so many people that have a lot of money and are miserable as fuck. They legit don't know what to do with their life. They're bored as hell, and they are really lost in life. Money isn't always a good thing, especially if you get a lot of money at an early age. You don't know what to do with your life, and it really seems like LeafyIsHere is in that situation, and it's honestly really sad to see. And this is applying to a lot of streamers and YouTubers that get like a lot of money because of YouTube. They have like a couple $1 million, and they don't know what to do with their life anymore because they don't need to work. Let's be real here. If you have a couple $1 million, you're not going to work a shitty job that you only get a little money from. Like, let's be real, nobody with a brain is going to do that. So what you need to do with the rest of your life, if you're not going to work, you need to find something. You need to find like a hobby, or you need to have like a family. You need to do at least something you enjoy, else you're going to turn crazy or you're gonna use drugs. That is just what it seems like Leafy's situation. Obviously I don't know Leafy on a personal basis, but looking at everything, looking what he's doing with his life, and you know, it just seems to be this way. Obviously this can change if he finds something that he enjoys doing. Maybe you should get like one of those life coaches that, like, you know, changes your life and helps you with certain things. Maybe he needs to get like a structure of doing stuff every single day. Maybe he needs to exercise, do all that good stuff. That definitely would help him. And obviously drop the drugs he's using. He obviously can still change his life, but the way he's going, I would not be surprised if we're going to hear one day that he is gone. But having said all of that, what do you think about Leafy's situation? Do you think he's going to come back to YouTube or streaming or any of the online social media stuff? I know he had like an Instagram that he was kind of active on. I don't know if he uses this anymore. Maybe he's coming back to just do something because he seems to enjoy YouTube and streaming. Maybe that's like something he actually enjoys doing, which can keep him sane. But having said all of that, subscribe on the channel, press the like button, and I will see you all next video.